Mm. Right, welcome back to the channel. Continuing the profile reviews that we did for both me and Brandon, who is of course joining me for the follow-up of his one. So
I
thank you.
promise you, this time we got energy. We didn't record like 8 other videos before jumping into this one. This is top priority today. We're here. We're energetic. Loon, I apologize massively for that last record, dude. I was I felt so bad after that recording. I was like, dude, I gave Loon about 2% energy. I thought I was gonna die sitting here. I was so damn hungry.
No, no, that's fine, of course. I think as well, it's good that we finally did that at some point because there was going to be some point where we push through and do a bunch of videos all at once.
Yeah, we know our limit now.
We know our limit is probably around about the 3 hour mark.
Well, I
Maybe
mean,
at maybe at a huge push 4 hours, but it was the fact I can't remember what it was that we did before. I don't know if it was the live stream or a full
well,
recording with Jeffrey.
yeah, it was like a 2+ hour recording, and then we
Mm,
did
yeah.
four, so we did 6 hours or like 7 hours, just straight through.
Oh, it was longer
And
than yeah, because it was we began at 5 and we didn't finish until midnight my time.
dude,
So 7 hours.
it
God.
was hell, man. And so none of this shit matters, but we're just talking. So I intermittent fast, so I don't eat for a large chunk of the day. So at that time, I had probably went like 26, 27 hours without eating. And I was just, dude, I literally thought I was going to pass out sitting in this chair. Yeah, it was interesting. But that's not what we're doing here today. We're charged up, ready to go. I still haven't eaten, but that's like, I'm not even close to the range of where it would. So right now at my time, I didn't eat. I have my last meal around 6 p.m. It's 1 o'clock p.m. Um, I had my last meal at 6 p.m. yesterday. It's 1 o'clock p.m. today. So I mean, I'm not even close to like any range of where I'll be lethargic or acting like a fucking fool. So we're good to go.
Is that a just again just to continue to derail? Is that like a diet choice or is that
Yeah,
like a brain choice? Because I don't diet, but I also go. My diet flips, kind of like that. Like I can go like 14 hours without eating, and then be very, very like constantly eating on a different day.
yeah. For me, like that 16 to 18 hour range is totally fine. Like where I don't really feel any, I can go 16 to 18 hours without eating and not really feel even, you'll feel hungry, but not like you're not sort of dipping in and out of like I was barely even mentally cognizant when we were recording last time. But right around whenever I start to hit that 20 to 22-hour range without eating, I start feeling pretty shitty. But yeah, I do it just because I, I am I have a bad food is my it's my Achilles heel, man. It is my biggest weakness. So giving myself as small of a window to eat as possible just it helps me not go too overboard. Because like if I'm regardless, we're sitting here talking, it doesn't matter. But yeah, I can slip into some bad habits with food, really, really bad habits. So I try to lessen that as much as possible.
Yeah. Well, now that now that beautiful intro is over, we will continue where we left off, I suppose. And that was, if I'm not mistaken, Astro's Playroom for you. Because
Yeah.
we were talking about Werewolf, the Apocalypse Earthblood, and how that's the greatest launch title for any system ever.
Absolutely. See, I guess we can just go through it real quick. I asked her just a launch pack-in game. Just played it for 30 minutes, an hour, something like that. Kind of
Oh no.
just one of those things where you dive into just to because it's for free.
Hmm. Oh,
And
dude,
there's go ahead.
Bloodborne 0%.
I played it for I didn't even I probably played it for 30 minutes, 45 minutes, something like that. That's not my bag, man. You know that.
Had to get you then.
What I will say, the one that bums me out the most is that 1% on Kingdoms of Amalur: Rear Reckoning.
Hmm.
I played like the first couple hours of it and really, really dug it. and then whatever happened, something else came out, got distracted, whatever the case, and just fell off of it. That's one I'm definitely going to go back to at some point.
Did you enjoy what you like? Did you enjoy the flow of the game?
Yeah,
Like,
dude, I
because I was
like
gonna
that a
say the
lot.
combat seemed like it'd be really up your alley.
Yeah, dude. It would, I was really, really digging everything about that game. I don't know what happened. Well, I guess we can look. What else would I have been playing at that time?
Cyberpunk.
Hmm. Okay.
Because it would be the thing stacked above it would be more recent, wouldn't it?
Right. Right. Okay. Yeah, so that's probably what distracted me from it. Um, and then Assassin's Creed Valhalla right there as well. I jumped into that. Another big ass game. And I put a decent amount of time into Valhalla, probably 5, 6, 7 hours, something like that.
Yeah, it is a
And
juggernaut.
so big, man. But yeah, just kind of looking down through it. Horizon Zero Dawn, excellent. Fast and Furious Crossroads, phenomenal, phenomenal video. Just total dog shit. Absolutely. Those Who Remain is good. A horror game for anybody who's looking for like a horror hidden gem. It's one of the first person walking sim style. Oh, Remothered Tormented Fathers. Absolutely phenomenal, man. One of the best horror games on the PS4.
It had a sequel, right,
Damon,
that was really bad.
awful.
Mm.
Broken
Broken
Porcelain.
Porcelain. Yeah.
Yep. Horrible.
Did you finish
Damien,
Daymare?
yep, Damien 1998 finished that. Ghost of Tsushima finished that. But both just like, this was definitely in the pocket of time where I wasn't really looking at trophies at all. Like I was just playing through the game and not really diving into the trophies whatsoever. And Ghost of Tsushima is actually one I would like to go back to before the Yotai comes out because I pretty much just played through the main story of uh of Tsushima. I dove into some side stuff. Like I remember going through and doing some of the what is it where you're like you got your grapple hook and you're moving around and then they have the thing where you're damn, what was it called? Like the springs or whatever.
All
But
right, yeah, the hot springs.
yeah, yeah, yeah. I remember kind of going around and looking at some of that stuff, but there's so much side content that I didn't dive
Yeah.
into in uh in
It's one
Tsushima.
I'll probably pick up because it's the thing of like I don't know what it is because I guess the even more side tangent crap. Obviously I picked up the laptop, right? And I've actually been warming up to playing more stuff on PC. I have been targeting stuff that's been released on the whatever it is, the Xbox store for PC, so it does have achievements. I've also I wouldn't mind actually just buying these PlayStation games off of Steam
Yeah,
and playing them on
absolutely.
this. Because I really did enjoy Ghost of Tsushima because I played probably about 23 hours of it. It was just under like a day. Like I played a ton of it. I really enjoyed it. Really fun game.
Yeah, dude. And I mean the time is getting shorter and shorter seemingly for a lot of the single player stuff. Like I remember it used to be 3, 4 years, if ever, for
Mm.
their PC ports, and now it's seemingly like usually maxing out at around 2.5 years of wait time, and often just a year. It comes out on console, and then the next year it releases on PC for the single player games. So like, yeah, there's really uh, it's getting harder and harder to make a case against PC. You know what I mean? Like you can get everything over there.
Mm.
Um,
The only counter argument is obviously the ports for PC are
oh, they're awful.
bad, and
Yeah,
that's like for a lot of that's not just like a PlayStation problem.
no,
That's
everyone.
it's completely like flipped. Like you think the 360 generation and early Xbox One generation, it was the PC ports were the way to go. And then Batman Arkham Knight came out and it was
Yeah,
dreadful on PC but really playable on consoles and then just it just never like flipped back over. It was crazy.
yeah. Batman Arkham Knight, that is actually a good kind of that point, that period right there. It did feel like from 2015 on,
Mm.
ever since 2015 to 2025, it's just been pretty awful PC ports from a lot of the major, publishers. Um, Yeah, that's the funny thing with The Last of Us Part 2 that I was telling you about, where I finished it on PS5
Hmm.
recently, and I didn't get the final trophy on the PS4 version because I didn't wait for the credits to finish. I just turned off the game after I finished it, and you got to wait for the credits to roll to get the final trophy for
Oh,
beating it.
for real?
Yeah, so if I just put in the
Oh,
PS4
what the
game
fuck?
and
Yeah,
just
complete
let
the
the
story and what I had to do.
That's so fucking funny, man. But like if you go through and look, I'll have the trophy. I don't remember what the nearest trophy is. Like if you go to the most recently earned, it'll be the trophy right before finishing the game. So like I yeah. It's just it's so that's such a stupid fucking thing in my opinion. I understand you want to show off your development team, you want to give credit where it's due. I totally get that. But like, dude, not allowing the achieve or not allowing the trophy to pop until after the credits roll. And if you're not a trophy hunter, you're not even going to know about that. You're not even going to think about that. Which I guess is the same thing where when in this time in 2020 when I wasn't a trophy hunter, it didn't bother me that I didn't get the trophy at all. Like I never even thought about that. But now I'm like, damn, that's a gold trophy I could get, motherfucker.
Yeah, it's something I learned very quickly. It was with Ubisoft games. A few of them didn't pop, and another one which was crazy is that Dark Souls 2, of all things, you had to sit through, you couldn't skip the credits either. You had to sit through the entire credit section on the 360 to get the thing to say that you beat the game.
Mhm.
So yeah, I really dislike that
It's so
as a
dumb.
thing. Only 1% for Andromeda?
Yeah, I finished that on Xbox.
Ah, the
Yeah, it was on
superior
Game Pass.
way. Haha.
But no, I mean it really is though because it was on Game Pass. So as I was able to play it with such little investment and that's kind of the thing with Andromeda why I ended up liking it so much because I went in with such a negative outlook because I heard so many awful things about it. And like you see, I played it in 2020 and I was just like, man, this is I'm not vibing with this. And then I played through it in 2022 or 2023 and finished it. And I just really got into that gameplay, man. That gameplay is so fun. Story not great. Gameplay's so fun. And that's kind of a common BioWare, modern BioWare problem. Excellent, excellent gameplay, and then the story's like, it has its moments, but not quite prime BioWare.
Yeah, unfortunately, because that's obviously something that leaked recently. No more Dragon Age. They've canned
Yeah,
that entirely
yeah.
to the
Yeah,
point
I
where they
gotta
went and they said it's to the fans now, basically being like, you you have to make your own journeys with these games because we're done with them, and it's just like, man, that hurts. That really does hurt.
I gotta be completely honest, man. I was totally wrong about that. I thought Dragon Age The Veilguard was gonna be like a real success financially, and it was not. Like I was totally wrong. I that's why you can't read into those Steam numbers so much, man.
Yeah, I also think though as well, I think it's just benefited EA big time. I don't think it was as big of a disaster as they make it out to be. It's
Yeah.
kind of that thing of them being like, oh well, everyone hated it. We can kind of trim. We have a good excuse to trim employees, and we have a good excuse to just put a plug on one of these single player games that take way too long to make, seemingly
Right.
for them.
Yeah, it's
So,
just a good excuse if they want to eventually can BioWare or whatever. Like, there's your excuse. Yeah,
yep,
that makes sense. Hey, why do I not have what's going on with The Witcher 3? Why is it only 2%?
I have
Did
no
we
idea.
did we look at The Witcher 3? Is there like another version of it or something?
Um,
Is there a way to go to my profile and type in The Witcher 3 to see if there's another version that I played? Because I mean, I put 100 hours into that game.
let me, cause so that we don't lose the position.
Yeah,
Go
true.
back, go to this, search. Because I believe there is multiple versions.
Oh, okay. That would make
Because
sense.
you have the complete edition. That's what you would have played
Oh,
on the
okay.
PS4.
Do you see that?
Um, yeah, him.
Okay, there it is. There it is. It takes a second for it to upload. Oh yeah, there
So
we
that
go.
was a
51%.
2021. Um, and you beat the
Yeah,
game.
absolutely. All right. Well, I was just making sure I didn't. You ain't taking my credit, Mr. Witcher.
No, you didn't
Um,
kill Radovid though.
I,
That bald little bastard.
man, that's such a, like, legitimately, I think about playing that game, replaying it all the fucking time, just booting it back up and jumping back into that world. It's one of the most well designed worlds that, like, there's so much to do, but none of it feels like just bullshit, you know? I mean, you do have, of course, you have fetch quests and stuff, but like 90% of it seems substantial. And yeah, those are the worlds for me where it's like I could play this 100 times and feel like I'm seeing something new each playthrough.
Hmm. Yeah,
Um,
because like with the Radovid thing, that's a completely optional
yeah,
thing. I think you have to do a string of quests leading up to that. And like you said, with the different paths and stuff. Because when I went through, I didn't end up 100%ing it in the end. Um, I think I need to go clear the DLCs and stuff, but I did like all the base game stuff and all of the different avenues, all, multiple different endings and stuff. And it's almost like a night and day difference with where it
yeah.
ends up at the end. And it's kind of crazy.
It's so impressive, man. I love that damn game. That's the string right there of Star Wars Jedi Fallen Order, Death Stranding to a lesser extent, but the Outer Worlds, like Final Fantasy Rebirth or Remake, Greedfall. I mean, just like a bunch of like my favorite
Oh, what a
games of,
Judgment, The Sinking City, Dying Light. Man, this was it.
yeah,
May
that
and
was such a
April
good run.
2019, baby. Control,
Control, Dying Light, Plague
Days
Tale
Gone.
Innocence, Days Gone, Exodus. I should have put way more time into that. I would say, like, if I had a game for 2025 for like my goal to finish one backlog game in 2025, I think it might be Exodus. Dude, you want to hear some crazy shit? What I almost did the other day?
Go
You're
ahead.
never gonna believe this. I was scrolling on PSN and I wanted to jump into something Obsidian, like just some of their writing, typed in pillars, and it was like $60. I was like, I know I could probably get the physical for cheaper. And so I ended up adding the physical to my cart. I still haven't bought it yet because, at this point, it's like Kingdom Comes right around the corner. But I think I might jump into Avowed, and if I really like that world, because if I can just crank the difficulty down to nothing for pillars and like just take in the story, because I don't like the combat, but if I can just take in the story,
Dude, dude, 100% both games. And I didn't engage in the combat.
oh
I
really?
hate this is I think I've said this before, but I'll say it again. Traditional CRPGs like Baldur's Gate 1, 2, Pillars of Eternity 1, 2, I despise the combat. It's god awful. So I always crank that as far down as possible to the point where I think it's been so long there might have been an AI setting, kind of like BioWare did with
Yeah.
Dragon Age and stuff. I think you can basically tweak and make them do stuff. You do it the one time, so you're tinkering in the menus and everything, being like, do this, do that, do this. And as like you're on the lowest difficulty, it just plays like a book. And that's what I was loving about it
Mm,
because the world,
yeah.
the quests, everything, the companions, oh my God, the companion stories for Pillars 1, especially. Like Alof is incredibly written, Adair is incredibly written, Palagina incredibly written. Like they all have massive, massive moments and massive payoffs. I think you'll love
Well,
it as long as you crank that difficulty down and you just absorb into the story and the world.
it's such a funny thing where, like, I think people limit themselves genre-wise. Like, if you throw me an action game, I can finish any action game on pretty much any difficulty. Like, it's not I've just been playing them for so damn long. I'm comfortable with the genre. But then if you throw me a game like a turn-based game, like I'm bad at turn-based games. Like because I've never played them
Mhm.
until I was an adult. I never played a turn-based game as a kid. Not even Pokemon. So I don't even have that fundamental root of like understanding this genre from a child into, a teenager into adulthood like most people do. I just always loved action games. And I think people limit themselves in the genres that they'll play because of the things they're good at. Where it's like, because I did that forever, where I was like, I'm not going to play this, this, and this because I'm not good at those games. I don't understand those games. But I'll play all the action games because I understand that I'm good at that. But it's like, dude, if you jump into, because what ends up happening that I've noticed is like with fighting games, for example, I always avoided them because I was never good at them. But then I jump into them and I start playing them on easy. And then I'm just clearing motherfuckers on easy. And I'm like, well, now I'm going to go up to normal. And it takes me a bit. I get beat a little bit early, but then I start understanding. I'm like, oh, well, I can do this on normal. And so like you start getting better, but to do that, you have to at least jump in and try it.
Yep.
You know what I mean? And that was always my biggest problem where it's like, I'm not going to jump in and try things that I'm not comfortable with. Um,
I will
but
say with the pillars thing, I don't because we're playing them on controller. I don't think you're ever going to
right.
really engage with that combat. It's whack on control. And this is somebody who actually tried to, and I was like, this is horrible. Because when I first jumped into pillars, I was trying to engage with that because it was the first time I'd ever played a CRPG of that like on a controller, and I was like, this is fucking unplayable. Like I can't.
Yeah.
Like you want me to do so many different things, and you're making me click X to pause, do all this, pause, unpause, pause. And it's just like this isn't a good flow and stuff on a controller. On a keyboard and mouse with that kind of layout, it feels natural because it's like an RTS
Yeah.
almost. So when I bumped it down, I was like, oh, this is beautiful. I don't have to engage with the combat and stuff. And that's why I also lean so as much as I love Pillars, and it will probably always rank above Pathfinder, they really cracked it with their turn-based. I think their turn-based combat is really, really damn good to the point where you
Yeah.
do end up engaging with the game, its combat and the incredible story. So,
Yeah, it's the thing where there's gonna be styles of combat that just don't resonate with you, and you'll go your whole life
yep.
in that. But it's like at the same time, if there are modifiers where, because like, correct me if I'm wrong, but do people play pillars for the combat? Does like anybody jump in
Yeah,
there with like,
you have the you've put me on the spot here. There's a challenge that Obsidian do for Pillars of
oh,
Eternity
okay,
2 where you have to have all of the modifiers on to make the game harder,
uh,
and you send them your save file when you clear it, and they put your name in their office. So
right,
there are people that like actually engage with that, but it is like you're talking.
a
There's
small
no
percentage,
I would be very, very shocked if you came into like a group discussion of like CRPG players and anybody put their hands up and was like, "Yeah, man, Pillars is the best for combat,"
right,
and was like,
combat.
"Nah, there ain't no argument with any of these." It would be like, "Shut up, man."
Yeah. So, I mean, you think the majority of people jump into it for the stories. So it's like, if that's the case, then give people an option to see the story.
hmm
If the story is the
And
strong point, then at least let people see it.
yep, and I think it does do that with Pillars.
Cool.
You just crank all that stuff down to the easiest settings, and just yeah.
You know what? Here's what I'm gonna do right now, Loon. As we're on the fly, I'm gonna buy because I have it in my cart still on eBay. I'm gonna buy it right now. Buy Pillars of Eternity 2 right
Because
now.
you love darker stories, right, as well.
Oh yeah, that's my shit,
And that
man.
was my biggest complaint with I love Pillars 2 for some of the stuff and the spectacle that it does.
Hmm.
But because they went down like this piratey route and everything just opened up and it was so much brighter and vibrant, they kind of did that with the stories. Or the first game's story, there's so many dark, horrible things that go on in that story.
Okay, so
So
the first one's darker.
yeah.
Oh, okay. So I'll buy both of them then, because I was just gonna buy two because I heard two was like, don't didn't you say two was the goat, or are you more of a one person?
It's difficult because it's like they do things better than each other, and the other one does something better than each other. The the thing that draws me to two is something that when you play through one, you'll kind of understand why I'm like the spectacle. This is a massive reveal at the beginning of Pillars of Eternity 2 if you engage with a part of a side quest.
So,
So I'd go with Pillars 1 if I was you, because it is a continuate this they're not separate either, by the way. It's a continued story. You're the same character. So
well,
you
fuck it. I'm
bring
gonna buy both.
that's the best outcome.
Cool. Well, I just bought Pillars 1 and Pillars 2. So now so here's what I'm gonna do, Loon. This is the promise I'll make to you right now. I am going to play through Avowed first, obviously, because that's right
Mhm.
around the corner. And I will, let's see. This Metro Exodus is like at the top of my backlog list.
Cool.
This is gonna go right under it.
Okay.
So those are going to be like my backlog games for
I'm fine with
2025.
both of them because Exodus is I've shouted that from the rooftops as well of me being like
Yeah.
because we both jumped into Stalker and I was like you should probably just like go play Metro, man.
Yeah. And I did. I booted up the one that you told me to check out first, and
hmm
I dug it, but it was like I was like, this doesn't feel like even the little bit I played of Exodus, I was like, man, there's something here. And I
hmm
just cause scroll up. I think Exodus February 2019, and then right after that, where is Judgment at?
Judgment is right here. So it's one,
Okay.
two, three, four, five titles above it.
I feel like I played Judgment. Maybe they both came out around. I don't know. Maybe it took me a little bit longer to finish Judgment. I'm not sure, but I remember playing those two games around the same time as one another, and I think that
Yeah.
yeah, I think that Judgment took me out of Metro. I could be wrong on that though.
Yeah.
Let's see.
The only problem is well, but you're because that's just me the niggling in the back of like my head and stuff is that the big payoffs in Exodus as well is obviously having played the previous two games. Because
Right.
much like Pillars, it's you're following it because in Metro you're following Artyom and that opening hour, which you would have played. Let me look
Yeah, I
so I
played
can
through probably.
probably like say what I want to say.
I probably played through about an
LOL.
hour of it, something like that. 2 hours
Um,
maybe. All right, they're confirmed. Bought them. They're on
cool,
the
cool,
way.
cool. Okay, so you didn't technically complete the level, so I'll have to shut up. But
Oh,
there's a
okay.
big payoff in that opening thing that hits even harder when you play the previous games because of how everything is being like fed to you propaganda wise.
I'll watch it. I'll watch like the big moments from Metro 2033, right?
2033 and Last Light were the two before
Okay.
that.
I'll watch the big moments, get caught up on everything, and then I'll jump into Exodus.
Cool, cool, cool.
Um, LA Noir, man. What a gem. I love LA Noir. I really wish we could have got a second one.
Yeah, I did because I was trying to yeah, I did this where I did all of the cases perfectly myself. And I was like, yeah, man, I'll happily 100% this game. This game is amazing. And then it had, give me one moment. There you go. That's the thing that kills it.
100% game completion, like do absolutely everything.
No, it was dry. You have to get into every single car that exists in the
Mm.
game. And obviously they
Ah,
randomly spawn around the map. It's like a GTA thing
okay.
of like where you're driving around and it's like, oh, there's a Chevy Camaro, there's this, there's that. And it's just like, who thought that was a good idea, man? What the hell's wrong with
Yeah.
you?
Yeah, that's one of those games where like it the open world aspect of it is kind of mafia-esque. It doesn't really have
Yeah.
quite you don't really want to be in that open world all that much other than just to get you to point A to point B.
Yeah. Do you actually like that? Just out of curious, because there's a lot of people that have like really strong opinions that say like a game like Mafia, it shouldn't even be open world. It should
I
just be
mean,
giving you the story section. But I don't know, I think it adds a bit of charm personally. Even though it's like underbaked as hell,
yeah.
there's
I
something about driving from like point A to point B and then getting like tiny little like I don't know, like little tiny nuggets of like a story esque. Like in Mafia 2, when you're walking down the street and the woman's car is broken down and you can give her a hand and stuff like that. Even just something
right.
as small as that.
Well,
Just
I think the moments that you lose if you don't have an open world are like you got to have the chases and the like.
Mm.
That's kind of why you have the open world. You know what I mean? You're a mobster. You got to run from the cops and you got to run from rival gangs and like you have to have the open world for that type of stuff. Just getting you to point A to point B through like a cutscene or whatever, it just wouldn't quite hit as hard, in my opinion. But I don't know. It supposedly they're going to go a little bit more linear with Mafia: The Old Country, so I'm curious to see um, how that ends up panning out for
So I
them.
was just looking at the achievements on Resident Evil. I was like, why is there only 12?
Oh, there's only 12 achievements for it?
Yeah, there's only 12 trophies. I'll show my
Interesting.
respect to PlayStation. Yeah, only 12 trophies. There's no platinum either.
Oh, wow. That's bizarre. Um, let's see. So we got the Resident Evil games. We got Assassin's Creed Odyssey, 30% for 70 hours of playing that thing, 50 hours, something like that. So much damn content in that game. And the same thing with Red Dead 2. Uh, 30% put over 70 hours into that damn game.
I tried 100%ing that.
Ooh, ooh.
Do you know what killed it? Does it actually show me when I tab to these, or do I have to click on
Yeah,
it
I can
in?
see. I can see you tab into it.
Okay. Stop bombarding me with ads, man. So that's like already rough, getting like the gold medals. The thing I despise is multiplayer shit.
Yup.
So all of this crap, that's what, because it's even like fairly easy for a lot of people, but it's like reaching level 50. It's
Right.
so grindy, man.
Yeah. I never even logged into the online, not once. No
No!
interest. It went back to the top.
Yeah,
Oh
fuck's
well.
sake.
I'm on
Wait,
my
this isn't.
grind. I don't know if
No, this is your thing.
yeah.
Stall for time.
No, you're good. Yeah, I'm on the grind. I'm at 361 on my level, I'm on the road to 400. I was talking about in the last video how heartbroken I am. I know I'd be well over 400 if I had my damn PS3 trophies. Shit sucks, man. I hate that so much. I don't know why, but like I want to be
I've
I want
got
to be
you
around
bit.
500.
I've got you bit. Yeah, you care. You've been paying attention to the statistics now. You're one of
Yeah.
us.
I will say though, like when I play story games, I just can't. I can't look at them, man. It's so distracting for me. Where because like if after I finish the game maybe, but like while I'm playing it, I'm like, oh, dude, I don't want to think about having to go and hack 45 different terminals and Watch Dogs 2 or whatever the case may be. Like I don't want to think about having to do that while I'm trying to play through the story and take in the story. Maybe after it's all done, but I really want to like laser focus on the story and take that in without having like distractions lurk.
I think I'm 95% of like with you there.
Yeah.
And the thing of like a perfect example, like Odyssey. I don't mind looking at like what's in the list and chipping away at it
Yeah.
alongside playing the game. Red Dead 2, I wouldn't do that though. If it's something
Because you're so
extremely narrative driven, where it's so driven, pushing you towards like an objective, it definitely does take out of like the experience.
totally.
But something like an Odyssey or like a Hogwarts Legacy, where something is like I don't know, the actual narrative that they're trying to unveil is it doesn't feel like it's as important, if that makes
Quite that.
sense.
Yeah. Yeah, that
So
does make sense. It's have you did you play Watch Dogs 2?
I've cleared one, two, and then I tried Legion, and
Legion's rough, man. It just does not
Legion
have
is
that.
so bad.
Yeah, I don't know what happened. 2 is incredible. Two is so good in my opinion. Like I legitimately like the story and shit. I was really shocked by how much I liked two. I at first I was like, damn, this sucks. I just thought the characters were so corny, and then it hit a moment where I was like, oh, okay, shit's kind of getting serious now. It's not just this hacker, hey, we listen to Danny Brown and we go to raves and like the most stereotypical shit for a hacker ever. It was like it was more than that. It became more than that, and I was like, okay, cool. I bought in at that point. It's just the hacking challenges though. That shit sucks, man. Like having to go through and like it. I could go on forever about this, and then we'll probably save it for when we do our ranking, but you're just not going to be able to make hacking fun. Not like as a core, you can have it as a side thing, but if hacking is like your core mechanic in a game, I just don't know if you're ever going to make that a fun concept.
Yeah, because it becomes very intrusive to
Yeah.
everything. Because I'm thinking back to like Deus Ex. It was very simple, that little mini
Yeah.
game, and that worked perfectly fine. With Watch Dogs, having to line up like the T's and stuff,
Dude, some of those are hard as hell.
and it's like, this is really crap. You could just, can we just have it so that I click a button? It's kind of because I'm gonna mention this, and you may laugh at this, but something I never understood in Sleeping Dogs. Why am I unscrewing each screw for each like that
Yeah.
kind of stupid shit where it's like I think Wei Shen can unscrew a screw, man. You don't need me to.
But you know the thing though, with like compared to Watch Dogs, is like how quick that's finished in Sleeping Dogs. I understand
Yeah.
it's still annoying, but like, dude, in Watch Dogs, do you remember the mission where you have the 5 minute timer to do the hacking?
Mm,
And like it'll blow up if you don't complete it in 5 minutes? Well, that took me like 3 attempts. So that's 15 minutes
yeah.
straight of hacking. The most boring thing you can do. It's a you, dude, how do you have the bones of a open world crime sandbox. The shooting is good, the movement is good, like the driving is great. The amount of shit you can go off and do on the side doing like the stunts and all that. Like you have such good bones. Dude, take the hacking down 70%. Drop it by 70%. Make it 20% of the game and you got but we could go into that at the February ranking. I don't know why the fuck we're talking about Watch Dogs. It's not even on the screen. Um yeah, so Spider-Man, that's interesting. What, 15%? I wonder why.
That I was gonna actually touch upon that because it's like, dude, this is like most people's first platinum, like a 40%
I mean,
on
I
thingy and
definitely
8%.
I mean, I know I'll never I had no intentions on ever platinuming him, but I did finish this game. Like I finished the main story.
Yep,
Is
complete
it
act three.
completed Act 3? Is that the final act?
That has to be, I would assume,
Let's see.
because it's saying about I don't know who the final boss was in.
Okay, yeah, it's yeah. Um, huh.
A lot of it is collectibles though, and then they added
Okay.
tons of DLC.
See, that's the funny thing, man. Once again, Loon, about like how differently I played games back then. Because now that I have the bug a little bit, all of these are super easy trophies for the most
Hmm.
part, right? Like it's just super go here
10
and grab this.
citizens.
Right, right. Shit you could do in 2 seconds. Like
Wear
I
five
would have
suits. Yeah.
now that I have that trophy hunter, not trophy hunter mindset totally, but now that I have like at least to the point where I'm like, well, if I get an easy trophy right there, I'll go do it real quick to boost my level. Um, so I would have did all that shit. Maybe I'll pop it in and go do some of that stuff. Oh, and they also had the PS5 version, so I got a full new trophy list that I could go and clear.
Mm. Yeah, it's here. Don't know if you've played it yet.
What's that?
I said it's here. This is the other because it has a separate list.
Yeah, yeah, yeah. So that's perfect because I haven't played the PS5
Yeah, I
version
was
yet.
about to say because it doesn't show that you've popped any. Cool, cool, cool.
Yes. So, dude, that's the thing that this is ridiculous. I'm rambling. This is too much energy. I need about 50% less energy than than I have now. 50% more than I had last time. Um,
We need you
but
to
that's
do some more hacking games and wear you down. That's what we
I
need.
swear. But it's like, the thing about the PS3 where I was so bummed that I don't have those trophies for playing for whatever close to a decade on the PS3. But then you start thinking about it's like, ooh, I got a bunch of I can go in and get some trophies on Mass Effect. That's an excuse to play Mass Effect again. Ooh, Alpha Protocol. That's an excuse to play that again. It's yeah. That's actually been really nice, man.
Absolutely. That's how I
And
feel.
you, I'm sorry, I'm rambling like a motherfucker. You know that this is a problem. The remaster craze,
Okay.
because I'm very anti remaster anything that's, you know, 2013, 2012 and earlier, fine. Remaster away. Anything after that, I'm like, dude, stop. We don't need remasters from games that came out on the PS4. That's crazy. But now I'm like, ooh, okay. So this rumored Days Gone, huh? Now I get a new trophy list for Days Gone.
And that is the people that have fought tooth and nail on that side where they're like, nah, guys, hear them out. It's fun.
Yeah.
Um,
It's such a problem.
the thing I don't like though, and this is going to take a little stab at PlayStation players here, is that they scream that, and what we were looking at, because we can look at it again quickly. So Spider-Man, for instance.
Uh-huh.
So this is the PS4 version. If you ended up popping the platinum and getting the 100%, you have your save file. It's on the cloud. And what PlayStation does is that you can just go ahead and get the PS5 version, import your save, and it auto pops everything.
Oh,
And that
that's
is something that I really don't like because it's
why
something I
would you
don't
do
think
that?
because that's the addiction,
The
isn't it? Of
addiction.
getting more platinums, getting more things. Also, the people who chase to be the first ones to 100% it, getting into the top, like, oh, I'm the first person to platinum it. I'm the in the top 100 and stuff like that.
I
It's
could see that being kind of cool. But like auto popping it, dude, who wouldn't want to play through Spider-Man again?
exactly
You know, who wouldn't want to play through Ghost of Tsushima again or whatever? Like, I
because
understand
I'm
doing it for something like Death Stranding, like bad games, sure, but
because I'm with you there. I'm with you with the remaster things and looking at because I did the same with Control, and it's kind of like the thing of like, no, this really doesn't need another like release, guys. Like realistically, it really
no.
doesn't. But man, I love that game, and I went through and 100% it, and I didn't auto pop it because, and that's the thing as well with Xbox. Xbox blocks a lot of that. You can't port your stuff and auto pop things, so it
It
feels even
should be
better
that
because
way.
it's like, yeah, I did actually sit there and do that twice because the game is incredible, and I'd happily do it 3 times, 4 times.
Yeah, I mean that should be the way that, like, if you buy I don't even understand. I mean, I guess like you said, the addiction, but it's like, dude,
Mm,
the whole allure to me now with the PS3 being this wide open vacant market for me to jump into and get trophies. It's like even if I could auto pop and get the ones that I got from the, well, actually, no, I don't know. I mean, huh, that's an
mm.
interesting thing to think
That
about
that isn't
because
in. I would for the multiplayer stuff, yeah, because otherwise it's unobtainable now. But that's just the
right,
inner completionist in me. If you're talking like an NBA and stuff, and it's like, okay,
right.
the servers are shut and you cannot thing it, and you have technically done it, yeah, I'd probably do that. But for like an Alpha Protocol as an example, if they ever did that again, I wouldn't auto pop that. I'd want to do that all
Okay,
again.
perfect. So I got the rationale down.
Okay.
The reason I might actually auto pop, if because like I don't have any of my PS3 trophies, obviously, like we talked about in the last video, because I just was a fucking idiot. I was a kid. I didn't think about wanting to carry this stuff over into the same account. Um, and then even as an adult, like I just never thought of trophies until talking to you. And so the games that I played and I've already finished, maybe I would want to auto pop those because I don't have them at all. And so if I could like press a button and just get those trophies back somehow and get them to be on this account opposed to my other account, I know you can't do that, but like if I could, maybe I would auto pop that. But I wouldn't want to do that for a remaster because that the
Mm,
remaster would be my excuse to play it again.
yeah.
Whereas with this hypothetical scenario I'm painting, this would just be my way of getting the trophies that I actually did obtain, but I don't have access to on this account. You know what I mean?
Yeah, yeah, yeah. I get you. So you
I mean, I
did
know you can't do that, but
you so you beat these games on a different account entirely, is what you're saying.
yeah. Yeah, I
Ah,
beat
that
like
sucks.
so I think we talked about it last time. You'll go down to when we get to the bottom, my first game that I played on here is going to be like NBA 2K14 for the PS4 or whatever game was around that time, like 2014, 2015.
Right.
Um, so like all you won't see a single PS3 game on here other than the ones I played after linking my account last year, after linking my PS3 to this account last year. Because like that shit, like I said, it literally never even crossed my mind until I met you, until we started talking about that stuff. And then I was like, oh damn, yeah, that is kind of cool to go in and, see more about the game. And oh damn, that is kind of and then I'm like, oh damn, that kind of sucks. There was years, a decade plus of that just lost to time. And I because I looked into it. I don't think they'll allow you to like get pull trophies from one account and add it to another.
No, no. It would be the only thing is if you were obviously offline all that time and it is the same account that you use now. So you're technically logging in and then you'd be able to uh, link that with the internet and then it would sync up. But because you've done it on a different account, there's no
Oh,
transferring
wait,
over.
wait, wait. So like if I did it on a user like just a guest kind of like
No, it'd have to be because it's a young Kirilenko, right? I was
oh, I
thinking
would
if
have
you
had to have done it on
you'd
that.
have to have done it on that account.
So
Actually,
say
hold
I
on a second.
because I think what I did was I just logged in through like a guest to where there was no account linked at all. Because I just
I might
never
have to
once
look into
again.
that for you, actually, because I've
Yeah.
seen people who have 100% accounts that do something like that, actually. And do you still have the PS3 that you would have beat it
Yeah.
on? Okay, I might have to look into that because you might be able to actually rip that then.
So I won't have like my PS3 that I obviously I don't have the same PS3 that I had when I was a kid, from like 2000 and what would that have been like 2008 to 2013 or whatever. But I do have the PS3 that I bought as an adult and I played like Infamous 2 I played on there, Alpha Protocol I played on there, the Mass Effect games I played on there, MGS4 I played on there. Um I played through I mean, a bunch of games. L.A. Noir played through on there on the PS3.
It
And then
would
also played through it on
probably
the
because the way
PS4.
I'm envisioning it is it's probably very similar to the 360. Is that save data is sitting there, right? On that
Wait,
console, and you would probably have to do some shenanigans with like a USB stick. That's the only, and it would
oh,
probably take a very long time.
yeah, fuck that. I don't even
Yeah.
care that much. Like I'm more than happy to go back and get those trophies. Those games are fun as hell. I'm more than happy to
Absolutely.
play them again. And it's also the thing too where it never mind. Dude, we can keep fucking moving on. We'll be here for 18 hours if I keep on with this
That's
10
fine.
tangents.
We're in
Um,
no rush. We got all the energy
so there's
until
your
we don't.
platinum. My
There's
one of
free.
my what
You
is it?
got
Oh, back
you
to
got
back.
free. Look at that. Ooh. Pro
Dude,
player.
I bought The Wolf Among Us on the PS3 because that's another one that I well, I played The Wolf Among Us. No, I played The Wolf Among Us for the first time ever on a 360 actually. Crazy enough. My cousin left a 360 at the house and he had a copy of The Wolf Among Us. And that was the game that got me back into
Mm.
playing video games and then I played through it again on PS4. So I think you should see a trophy for that as we go down.
You're one trophy
Um,
away from the 100% in this.
what is it?
You just got to take a picture of the Air Jordan.
See,
You
that's what I'm talking about. That's so wild. Damn, that's funny.
did every single thing else.
Would I get a platinum? No.
No, there's one that doesn't have a plan, but that's still, that's still
You just get a silver
100%.
trophy.
So,
Yeah, that's so funny. You'll probably see so much shit like that on my profile where it's like, "Hey, you're missing a gold trophy because you didn't jump 30 times." And yeah, there's my long haul with Persona. Put a solid hour into that and I was like, "Jesus Christ, what am I doing with my life?" I'm just joking. Um,
I mean, I
but
don't like Persona 5 either, to be
yeah.
fair.
Yeah, you told me
It's
that.
I've
That's
I've
right.
struggled to get I'm gonna give it another go this year, but man, I don't know what it is.
Yeah. Yeah, it's whoa, what the fuck? Uncharted 9%. That's one I finished as well. I wonder if that's another
You,
one of those weird, like,
it's, I believe these have like, oh, you didn't beat the game.
what? I 1000% beat Uncharted. I wonder if
This
that's one of the, it's Naughty Dog
is,
again. I wonder if it's a credit roll
oh,
thing.
it probably is saying that. Because I was gonna say, I remember these being, what's the word I'm looking for here? I don't know. I think you got screwed actually, because you'd have thought that because the 9mm pistol's the thing that you get in the very beginning. Surely you
Uh,
would have got like 20 kills with some of these other guns.
that is bizarre. Let's see. What can you go to like most recent trophy that was earned on Uncharted 1?
Would
Well,
have
dude,
been that one, 100 headshots.
huh? That is bizarre. Are there no like story related other than just beating the
No,
game?
that's the thing that I really didn't like when I moved over to PlayStation and I was playing through all of them. That's why I never bothered becoming like a trophy hunter.
Yeah.
Is that a lot of it is just miscellaneous crap. It's like kill, kill, kills, 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 collectibles, and then it's just one for each difficulty.
Damn. Yeah, that's a bummer. I
This, for reference, is the PS4 version. It's not the PS3.
I
So this
don't
is the remaster.
I think I played through Uncharted for the first time with the remaster. Maybe I didn't. I'm
We
not
can look
100%
here.
sure actually. Is Uncharted, well, it wouldn't be on here if I played it on PS3.
PS3, yeah, it's completely clean. You haven't played it.
Yeah. But I mean, it wouldn't like if I did play it, it would have been on the other account. You know
Mm.
what I mean? So it wouldn't like I wouldn't even be able to tell. But I think that I played through it for the first time on the PS4. Can you is Oh, is this the collection or no?
I have no idea.
Yeah, it doesn't matter. It's no big deal because I think I played through it for the first time on the collection where I played Uncharted 1, 2, and 3. And I know for a fact I finished all those games. They're not hard finishes.
Yeah, it looks like that would have been the collection. The remasters.
Weird. Does it show?
You see what I see, right? With all the Naughty Dog games
Yeah.
listed. Cool.
Are those my trophies or is that just all the
I think that's all of them collected. We can click on one. So, like, what would you have you've beaten all of these? I'd
I
assume.
beat every single Uncharted game. Yeah.
Uncharted 3. It shows that you haven't played it for some reason.
What the fuck?
Maybe
I'm
I don't doubt that you haven't played them. I'd be shocked.
yeah, I mean I 1000%. I
Uncharted 2, I haven't played.
there I mean there's zero
Oh no, hold on, hold on. Is it because I'm
because I have like gameplay recorded of them and shit that I use for the channel.
yeah, I'm not sure because I was gonna say it's maybe it's because I'm on the but we saw it here first, the first way that it shows that you didn't I don't know. It's weird.
I'm gonna look it up. Let's see.
Very bizarre.
How do I search PSN user search? Try this. Yeah, because I played through. Do I have trophies for damn? Well, I just played through Uncharted 4 again recently, so I guess that one would have definitely went
What
through.
we can do is do what we did last time.
Dude, but I talked about I think in the last video, there was like a
Yeah, and then it
weird
shows here that you have played them.
and then I finished them.
So that's still the same, where it showed that you didn't finish Uncharted 1, but for Uncharted 2,
What
you've
the
beaten it.
fuck? Yeah,
Uncharted 3, you've beaten it. Lost Legacy, you've beaten it. And then the Thieves Collection,
Uncharted 4.
you beat it.
Yeah. That's annoying as fuck, man. They were about to steal my valor.
So they've only robbed you of saying that you've not beat. Oh no, 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 you did. You did. That's what this is, right?
Oh, it shows it on there.
So the Legacy of Thieves collection, you beat Uncharted 1 in this.
No, that's just Uncharted 4 and Lost Legacy, I think.
No, this is the Legacy of Thieves collection. This is all of the games combined, I
Oh,
believe.
is it? No, I think it's just I don't know. I'm not 100% sure. I think
Maybe
it's
I have no
just
no
four.
okay, that's full. That is full.
Yeah,
So
I
you've
think it's
just
just
been
four and
robbed of a
less.
completion of Uncharted 1.
I would imagine that's probably something to do with like waiting for the credits to roll. So I should probably just pop that game in and get the
You didn't
trophy.
have patience for the first game, but you had it for all the others.
I wonder if they stopped doing it for the others because I don't think I would have had patience for those either. Yeah, but I'm glad at least that the because that would have bummed me out. So I mean, I
We got
wouldn't
to the
mind
bottom
playing.
of it.
Yeah, I wouldn't have minded playing through two and three again. But three, there's some moments in three where I definitely wouldn't really want to play that again if I'm being honest. I
Mm,
like three. I like Uncharted 3 a good bit, but I would have been bummed to not have trophies for it because like there's some hard shit in Uncharted 3.
yeah, I think we talked about it. Like my, I won't say disdain. It's a bit strong of a word. My dislike moving forward with Naughty Dog games is they just get longer and longer and longer,
Yeah,
and it's just
yeah.
like I think you could have probably cleared up all of the games that you've ever made story wise in like 12, 15 hours max. I don't think you need to be pushing this to the 20-hour mark.
Well, and like with Uncharted 3 specifically, it's probably a 7 hour game, but you'll die so much during like when you're getting flanked and shit, when enemies are coming from both sides and you're just kind of caught in the middle. They did a ton of that in Uncharted 3. Um, but yeah, let's see here. So I played through, let's see, I played through GTA 5 again last year. So I got the trophies for that on the PS5 version as well. I mean, I know I finished it on, or maybe I finished it on the PS3. Maybe I didn't finish it on the PS4 and then finished it on the
We can quickly
PS5.
look.
I'm pretty sure I finished it on the PS4 as well, though. It might be one of those ones where you got to do a bunch of collectibles and shit, maybe some online stuff.
I don't know what would have been the final. No, completed the final mission. You didn't.
Okay. So, I mean, um, is it? Never mind. I was wondering because I that might be another one where I can just hop in there and get a quick. Is it a gold trophy for finishing it? I'll go in there
You
and
and
pop
your
that bitch in.
you and your colored trophies, my friend.
I
Silver.
just want a silver. Probably not gonna go back to it for a silver trophy, but I because I'll go it like I just want the level. I want my level to rank up more than anything. I don't really care about anything other than getting to that damn 400 range. And then you got some good platinums there, some good hard platinums. MB or well, I guess it's not a platinum for 2K17, but platinum for the most difficult one on the market, the Telltale Batman game.
I mean, you jokingly
Um,
say that. I did it on last year when I had COVID. I was doing all them
mhm.
100% in a month. The 360 version of Telltale games are dreadful. I don't
Yeah, I
think
played the
people
PS3
remember
one.
how much there's so much lag and delay in
Yes.
actions. And I was doing the Batman one last year, and I was like, this can't be like we there's no way we played with this and said that this was okay. And I went and looked back at other people's playthroughs, and it is. It's just the tolerance for crap
Yep.
like performance on the 360 and PS3. We just never questioned it. It was like, yeah, man, we're console players. It's
I
just
mean the
what we
game
get.
the game literally like shut down on me multiple times while playing it on the PS3 because I recently went back and for whatever reason they didn't give me the platinum for that one either. What the hell? Um, 2K16, that was probably like right around the time where I kind of stopped really diving into the 2K games super heavily, but I fucking loved. Man, from 2K like 10 to 2K probably right there 2K16, 17, that was my bread and butter. Star Wars Bounty Hunter, played that again last year when it another one of the remaster Aspire
Mm.
remaster fucking just absolute vomit. Not a bad game, but they vomit those things out so frequently.
Was it at least well done? Oh, I think we got to the bottom. We did. Oh my
Oh,
God.
we're
What an
there.
abrupt end. But
DC Universe Online 0%.
oh, 100. What?
Probably all the expansions. They nonstop are updating that
No,
thing.
but this is like there's only 10 on the current gen because they re-released this.
Oh,
There's
really?
only 10 achievements. Oh my God.
They're making like story content for it now, aren't they?
Yeah, no, it said it. I think I don't think it ever shut down like fully, but they like heavily pulled back development for it, and then it blew up again. So they've kind of pushed even more stuff for it.
Yeah. I mean, the idea for DC Universe Online was always really interesting to me, creating your character and jumping in and that whole idea of like just being able to be in that universe and like actually interact with those characters in like a constantly evolving way. I think that is actually pretty fucking cool, but it just
Have you
yeah,
ever
anything.
actually done an MMO before?
Nah, I tried with DC Universe Online. I tried to like boot up and kind of get in there and I was like, man, I don't want to. This is just not the type of game I want to play at all.
That's fair. That's fair.
Um, but yeah, man, that's the end of my trophy run there. I I got into I guess I bought my PS4 in 2015 then or 2014 because WWE 2K15 would have been one of my first games which came out in 2014 because they always do the year ahead thing. So I
Mm.
guess I wasn't there at launch, which I guess that does make some sense. Because the PS4 would have been the first console I ever bought with my money. I would have been like 18 at the time when that came out. And so yeah, that would have been the first console I ever actually was able to pay for with my own money. And in 2013, I would have been like 17, I believe. So probably didn't quite have the cash to jump in at that point. But yeah, man, I definitely bummed that we can't go further back, like that it just cuts off right here on the PS4. It really would be cool to go through and see the PS3 and kind of look through all of that. But at the same time, at least we can hop into your recording for your achievements and
Mm.
we got more than enough time to knock out both today and not be totally fucking on E when we finish it.
Yeah, absolutely. But yeah, even with that being like an abrupt cutoff and stuff, it's good that this amount of library is still here.
Right.
And there's sections that you were pinning out, like the judgment and everything. This is why I love it so much because when you come back and you delve so far down into the list, and you're like, oh, judgment and control and greedful, and then that sparks like memories of like that was like one of the better like few months in like
Right.
your entire gaming thing because you're like, man, I was playing banger after banger after banger after banger, and you have
Well,
so many like lol months and stuff.
yeah. Well, it's funny too, because I think you and I both kind of agree on this about that period of 2019 or just 2019 in general. A lot of people don't look at it as like one of the best years in gaming, but 2019 is up there for me of like one of my favorite years ever, dude. There was so much shit that was appealing to me.
No, I'm right there with you. With like Control, Sinking City here, perfect example. Sinking
Yeah,
City,
Sinking City.
Control, Greedful, like there were
Hey, go
so
down.
many good
Was
RPGs.
was that other what was the Call of Cthulhu? Yeah,
Call of
that was
Cthulhu was
2018.
20.
Okay, late 2018.
Yeah, that was on like the turn of it. Such a
Yeah,
good game.
it is, man. That's such a fun game. Um,
Cyanide, baby. I see you
I wonder.
drunk alcohol.
I was getting tipsy, chilling with the
Such a
Cthulian
great
creatures and getting
game.
tipsy. Yeah, man, that was fun. Really fun game. I'd love to see something else in that vein, like a choose your own adventure Cthulhu style thing. That was so sick.
It still baffles me that like it's kind of bundled with like how vampire games are, right? It's the
Right.
type of thing where it's like, why are you not making like a high budget in this like universe and this world and this with this like IP? Because if you actually threw it a bunch of money, this has the ceiling that's like untouched. No one's gone there before. Especially with
Oh,
Cthulhu, because mild spoilers, I suppose, with the Call of Cthulhu things, but it's anticlimactic when you get to the end. Like the game is really fun, and you get to see like what 4 seconds of Cthulhu if you choose one of the
right.
endings, and it's just
Right.
like, And the same with like the sinking city and stuff. It whenever they go with the Cthulhu setting, they flirt with it, but they never go fully in. And the most ironic thing, the most close that we've got to that is Bloodborne
Mm,
with the insight mechanic. When you get a certain amount of insight and you're walking around the world, you actually see the Lovecraftian horrors actually clinging to buildings and being like, oh, so they actually do exist. And it's like you don't see that in Call of Cthulhu or The Sinking
right.
City and stuff. It's kind of like kind of weird.
How hyped are you for that Dawn Walker, the Blood of Dawn Walker, whatever, the big AAA Bandai vampire kind of the idea that you pitched when we were doing the tournament
I
thing that
need it.
still hasn't released.
I
Yeah.
need it in my life. Like you're talking about somebody who's so ravenous that Swan Song is in their top 5 games of like vampire games of all time. Like it's
Right.
tragic
Yeah.
how underfed.
There's just not a lot.
No, because it's like, what do I got to choose from? A game that came out like I think it is like 20 years ago now with Bloodlines,
Bloodline.
and then visual novels from the Vampire the Masquerade games, and then Swan Song. That's all I have. That's all I have, man.
It's I think that that could be like the next subgenre to pop though, because it's such an appealing thing. You know what I
Mm,
mean? Like it's and just the whole idea of like the Dawnwalker game, like half living, half dead, and like you can still have that tinge of humanity in the game, and you get to make choices as a vampire. And if you want to lean into it more, you can. Like, there's so much there that is ripe for more games to kind of jump onto it. But yeah, dude, this was fun, man. This was really fun. We'll
yep.
probably, I think it'd be fun just to kind of keep a tab on this and maybe in, I don't know, do a update of these once every couple years, once every three, four
Yeah.
years, maybe.
Yeah, because then it will give you like plenty of time. We can touch on it as well because you started with Mass Effect, so you have played a few games since.
Oh,
Is there
hold up.
anything that you?
I'm gonna update it for you.
Oh,
And then
there
you
we
should
go.
be able to hit refresh and you'll have my watchdogs in there. I don't want to, I
Don't
gotta
want
show
to
my,
cut out good old Watch Dogs. Oh, did you boot up Resident Evil 3 as well?
I finished it. Yep.
Well,
Yep.
it's not a very long game.
No, it was 5 hours, 4 or 5 hours, something like that. It You'll probably have to refresh it before it shows I finished it, but it should be updated now.
We shall click refresh.
Still not doing it?
No,
Or
it's there
maybe you'll have. Oh, okay, there we go. Yep. Cool,
because
cool.
this. Yeah, you beat the game. I think.
Yeah. hmm Please don't tell me it fucking screwed me on that.
There you go, completely.
Okay,
I was like,
cool.
I
I was about to say, man, goodness gracious. I'm getting ate up here. And there was a period in 2020, I don't know what happened. Like there's a game called oh man, I'm forgetting. It's like a soccer style game. I don't have trophies for that. I don't have trophies for BioShock 1. And it was like this span of time where I played these games in 2020 where like I have no, and I don't know. I think I changed my username during that time, maybe, and I think
Mm.
my trophies kind of vanished in that window. I so fucking weird.
Yeah, I know
Um,
PlayStation had a weird thing with how they did their back-end systems. So that does add up to
yeah,
what you were saying.
it's not something I ever really cared about until recently, where now it's like, dude, if I played that shit, I want proof of it.
I want
I
credit.
want,
Give me
yeah,
the
I want
credit.
credit, man. I'm trying to get my damn 500 level. Don't be taking my credit away. But yeah, you see old Eternal Strands,
I was
man.
about to, yeah. How is it?
We'll talk about it more with the February ranking, but it's cool. It's it just doesn't quite feel good to play. And I don't really know how, and maybe it's one of those things I'll boot it up in a couple years and it's like, oh, now I get it. And there's a lot of crafting and stuff going on. I'm not the biggest fan of that. Like I like to go and just pick up new weapons and use them and
Mhm.
like not have to go in and constantly level things up and upgrade and like I don't know. So maybe my mindset just wasn't right for it at the time. But my mindset was absolutely right for X-Men Destiny.
I was about to say, yeah, that's a crazy, like, just out of nowhere. Isn't this the game that they got in trouble? It was Silicon Knights, wasn't it, that made
Yeah,
this?
they got shut down. They got shut down
Because
because of this
they,
game.
yeah, because I literally just spoke about it in the final collection video. Obviously, have a
Oh yeah.
360 copy of it. Because it was, they made this in Two Human, I believe.
Yep. Yep.
And it
And
was the Havoc
also
engine that because they ripped the Havoc engine into like Two Human or something along them lines, where they weren't meant to, they only licensed it for like one game and they
oh
ended up using
wow.
it for two games and they got in like deep shit for it. And that's what kind of sunk
Damn.
them. It was like, yeah, you probably shouldn't be doing that, guys.
That is crazy. I didn't even know that. I mean, obviously, I knew they were on a downward slope after Destiny, but I didn't know that that was the thing that ultimately kind of sealed their fate. But dude, this game, have you played it?
I haven't. It looked so. But before you tell me what it is, I want to kind of guess because from what I've seen of it, it looks very Ultimate Alliance-esque.
It's kind of, this is gonna, people are gonna hate this. I would rather play this than Ultimate Alliance. Like,
Oh
because
man.
it's kind of, it's kind of Mass Effect meets Ultimate Alliance. You get to make a bunch of choices. It
That's interesting
li-
because you can do that in the second game. You get a little bit of a choice system, but it's very underbaked. Is this a little bit more?
this is like nonstop choices, like Mass Effect. And but hold up. Before I sell it like that, it's it's a poorly written video game. It's not like some excellent story at all, but it is fun. Like you'll see here, I joined with Magneto. I did all the bad guy stuff.
Yeah.
And the first time I ever played it, I did all the good guy stuff. And so you get to go through and like you can pick to align with the Brotherhood or the X-Men and there's different outcomes and uh, I'm not saying the story massively branches in different directions because it doesn't, but it is kind of cool to okay, cool. I'm gonna go side with Magneto, and you get to go in and pick different powers, and your character can play drastically differently depending on the choices that you make in the upgrading path that you take. So, dude, it's not like a 10 out of 10, but it's not. I think it's like at a 5 out of 10 on Metacritic. It's around a 50. I don't think so. I think this is a solid 6.57, dude. It's a cool game.
Do they do like? I didn't know if there was like a rating system like True Achievements has for like users.
Yeah,
Doesn't
there's a
look
lot
like
of
it.
shit that's underbaked in the PSN because like even whenever you go and you want to buy a game or whatever and you're scrolling through PSN on the actual PlayStation, it'll show you user reviews like the number, but you can't see like their actual written review of the game.
Uh,
And I nonstop would go and look at that on Xbox where it was like oh, hey, this game's really cool, but it's really difficult. And if you're not looking for a difficult game at the time, you look at that review and you're like, okay, well, I'm not into that right now. Or hey, this game's cool, but there's a bug that prevents you from getting this trophy or this achievement. And then you're like, oh, well, damn, I'm in the mood to achievement hunt, so I don't want to get like there's context that you kind of need for some of that stuff.
I'm actually really excited to start this now
Oh,
because
and it's like 5 hours.
I really, really do enjoy the Ultimate Alliance games, and it was really funny because they did the re-release. I don't know if you did it for the PS4 and Xbox One,
They
where they
re-released those games?
yeah, it was a short. It was like a 6 month window where they had the license expiring, so they remastered them and pushed them out and then pulled them from the stores.
Ooh. No
So
physical, huh?
I don't know. You'd be able
I'll
to
look
look
it
that
up.
up now. There definitely wouldn't have been a physical on Xbox, but they may have made a physical on PlayStation. But it was the thing of like that's a game I played in my childhood, and they had like full online co-op support. So it was one of them things of like it's a childhood game that you're able to like expose to a friend.
Yeah,
And me and a friend played through the entirety of Ultimate Alliance 1. And the
great
entire
co-op
time he was
game.
sitting there, he was like, what on earth is going on? With like, because the writing is like tragically bad and like
Yeah.
it's so wacky that you get to like Brainiac at some point as like a thing. And he starts like giving you trivia questions about the Earth and that's his boss fight. It's like how much of the Earth is made up of water? And it's like a
Yeah.
four choice question. He's like, what are we doing?
I don't want to sell you on the idea that X-Men Destiny is much better written than that, but it's at least more consistently like it's it's not Ultimate Alliance has a consistent story, but you're not making consistent decisions in it. You
Hmm.
are in this, so there's like some feeling of agency, even if it's not, even if it is the illusion of agency, but it's not. It's a cool game, man.
Yeah, I'm hyped for that. I'm
And
interested to jump in, especially as not really big of an X-Men fan either.
oh, really? Okay, well, this is actually kind of a cool introduction to X-Men to some degree because you get to play as like an outsider. You're not actually playing as the X-Men. You get to go, well, it's not create a character, but you pick from these different templates of characters, and then you get to kind of go in and customize your guy however you like with his move set and all that. And then so you're getting to interact with the X-Men from an outsider's perspective, which is what you would be doing since you're not like into it. So it kind of is directly through your point of view.
I mean, I watched the first two movies like back in the day. Like I don't know how old they are now. They're quite old.
Yep.
They're getting up there, and I just
2000.
never kept up with it. I had a period in my life where I didn't. It wasn't just like it's no dig at X-Men. I didn't interact with like anything Marvel at all. Like it was the second to last MCU like big of the trilogy films that they did with End War and stuff like that. It was the
Yeah.
second to last film that I like came back in and was like, wow, there's a ton of shit here.
This one.
So,
If you're going to watch any of them, I don't know if you can see it, X-Men First Class. This is, in my opinion, not only like this is not only the best X-Men movie, this is like one of the best superhero movies ever. This is number two to me behind Dark Knight. I think this is an
cool.
unbelievable movie, dude. And it's once again, it's a good one to jump into with very limited experience with the X-Men because it's kind of an origin point. You're getting to see Professor X as with James McAvoy playing
Yeah.
young Professor X and building up the X-Men that way with young Magneto. And Magneto is the hot ass dude.
What else, dude?
Super good looking dude. He played in Assassin's Creed. He was the main character in an Assassin's Creed movie that was supposedly not that
Oh,
good.
Michael Fassbender.
Michael Fassbender's Magneto, yeah. And he is, dude, he crushes that
Let me
role.
look quick because I have an X-Men film collection. Let me have a quick.
Oh, it's in there for sure then. Yeah, dude, and just for the audience out there, if you have not watched X-Men First Class, it, don't because that's the mistake people will make is you'll jump into I'm giving the audience a lecture on X-Men First Class. If you'll jump into X-Men 1 and I'm telling them like if you haven't watched the X-Men movies before, so many people make the mistake and it's not a mistake. X-Men 1 and 2 are good, but it doesn't feel modern. It doesn't feel like, you're having wonky special effects. Like you feel the age on it. I'm telling you, new fans, if you have not watched an X-Men movie, jump into First Class. It's the perfect entry point, and then you're going to start understanding and getting to know the characters, and then you're going to want to go back and watch the old ones. I'm telling you, that's the mistake people make. Got to start with First Class.
It says it's in here, but I don't.
Maybe it's a
Oh, the
weird term.
Beginnings trilogy. It was a trilogy
Yep.
of movies?
Yep.
First
So
Class,
it's gonna
Days
be,
of Future Past, and then Apocalypse.
dude, Days of Future Past as well. Listen, I'm gonna be real. If somebody just wanted to watch two good superhero movies and they don't want to do a bunch of legwork, they don't want to like go through a whole series, just First Class and Days of Future Past. Those are S tier superhero movies, dude. They're so good. So good.
Okay, you've sold me on it. Yeah, I sold you on Pillars. I'll give you this one. I'll
Yeah,
give you this one.
you
It's
sold me on
it's
300
also
hours.
beneficial that I have the collection already.
You
But
sold me
I'll
on
dive into it.
300 hours of content. I sold you on six. Not even six, like four, if that.
But yeah, I don't know. I don't know why I've never like given X-Men another go. Because I've really enjoyed Origins Wolverine, and I enjoyed when I watched the movies. I like, even though like you said they're wonky, like special effects and stuff. They were still good films. I felt.
Incredible, yeah, political intrigue off the charts with the
Mm.
whole, the two like two completely opposed viewpoints from Magneto being the kind of idea of like we got to eliminate and eradicate humanity to make way for mutant kind, and then Charles wanting to coexist with humanity, and like them both looking out for mutant kind but in two totally different ways, so they end up at a crossroads where they're constantly in conflict, and even though they have so much love for one another, they're constantly in battle because they have two completely opposing views of how they're gonna advance mutant kind. And yeah, it's just it's so much more engaging on a narrative front, like layers of depth to the narrative opposed to a lot of the MCU stuff, which there is some really great. I People hate on the MCU way too much, in my opinion. It's become like a trendy thing to.
Mm.
And listen, there is totally like a level of writing or like something happened with writing with the MCU movies where it took over just every writer in Hollywood, every writer in games, every writer in like they just started writing dialogue like that. And it became way too overbearing. But man, what they accomplished in 2008 into the final Avengers film with Endgame. Like what that's an unprecedented run, a 20-year run of excellence.
Yeah.
Or a 10-year run of excellence, my bad.
Yep. Yeah, no, it was an incredible set of movies, and I think they've struggled since then as well because you
Yep.
concluded that, and it's kind of like you concluded it so well that that should have been finality
Yep.
kind of thing. You should have probably, I know, like the facial, like the visual cues of characters and where you piece them, like that is Iron Man, that is this. Like I know that they
Right.
sell, but I think the best thing that they could have done is just reboot it. I know it's kind of the lazy thing to do, but them continuing on with stuff. Only really Spider-Man survived. Like the four movie that came out was like panned. A bunch
Bro,
of the other films were panned.
you know what they should have done? They should have totally put the MCU on rest, took off like 2, 3 years, maybe even 5 years, and then launched into the X-Men, the reboot of the X-Men, the reboot
Mm,
of the Fantastic Four. So now you have new characters
yep.
to get attached to, opposed to like, wait, that's not that's not my Captain America. Wait, that's not my, you know what I mean? Like trying to create new versions of these characters that people aren't attached to, or trying to, even the characters like you said with Thor, it's, Chris Hemsworth still Chris Hemsworth, but it's just like, yeah, we got the best version of Chris Hemsworth, and it kind of capped off what those last two Thor movies I thought were good, but really the finality should have been boom, Endgame, we're out,
Yep.
you know.
Yep. Because very few of them made the transition particularly well. Have you seen the Loki TV show? Because that
I
is,
haven't. I heard it's
if you
great.
like Control, it's
Yeah.
got like wacky plot points like that. It was like, oh my, because I was in the dark for it completely. So when it was starting to like talk about the plot point, I was like, where's this come from? This is incredible writing. Like, oh my
Yeah.
God. So,
Well, yeah, and that's the thing, man, is like I haven't watched I haven't finished The Mandalorian. I haven't started Andor. I haven't all of the Marvel stuff. I haven't started a single one of those. I haven't started Penguin. I haven't
Mm.
like there's so many heavy hitters that I have not even because this is fucking why. I'm
Because we
trying to
don't know
play.
when to shut up.
No, but now I'm talking about the video games, man. I'm trying over here to play Watch Dogs 2
Yeah.
opposed to watching Loki or watching Penguin.
I was going back and playing NCAA
Yeah,
2013.
right. No,
Uh,
that's actually been such a night like that. I need to do more of that, just jumping into sports games and stuff because like I literally feel my blood pressure just dropping. I don't know what it is, the comfort food of it, but just jumping into a sports game and putting on a podcast, like I feel my blood pressure just drop, man. It's yeah, because I mean I think most people are like this where the mind is just non-stop racing, racing, racing. And something that like calms that is I mean it's I bought NBA 2K12 for like $3. I'd have to pay thousands in medicine or different options to get that same calming effect. So shout out to NBA 2K12 for being my anti-anxiety medication for this month.
all right, well, that's the perfect way to, cap that all off for your profile for now. Like you said, we'll revisit this in, maybe 1, 2, 3, 7 years, 12 years. But yeah, it's a healthy growing profile. You're almost at 500 games, and that kind of says it all. You do finish that. That's roughly the percentage that you'd be sitting at if you story cleared. So
Mm,
that is just, it'd be different if that was sitting at like 5%. It'd be like, oh, you don't really finish much and stuff.
yeah,
But you go through and you story clear, and you've been warming up a lot more as of late. As we were scrolling through, like you get more chunk. You're going back and you're chunking some more
yeah.
lists here and there, especially the sports games, which is awesome.
Yeah. Well, and it's the sports games are like that's kind of the perfect trophy hunting experience for me, where it's like there's no narrative to get involved in, so I'm not feeling like I'm focusing on one thing when I should be focusing on the other. There's nothing like that there. You know what I mean? So it's to me a sports trophy list is perfect because I'm jumping into it specifically for that purpose now. Where I'm just going into and also I want to do like an NCAA games ranking, an NBA 2K games ranking. So I'm like taking notes and
Yeah,
yeah, it's nice, man.
yeah, that'd be cool. Yeah, see that. So yeah, I guess we'll finish that up and we'll move on to my one. So thank you very much for watching. And that's him completely done. We wrapped that up in two parts. Hopefully we can do that in two parts for mine, but I'm heavily doubting that.
Hey man, we'll hit off part one and we'll see where we get. But this has been a blast, dude. And when we do this again in 3, 4 years or 2 years or however long we do it, I hope to be at that damn 500 mark. If I'm not, well, no, there's no chance I will be in 2 years. I'll be at 400, but not 500.
Oh, I thought you meant 500 games play. Oh, you mean the level?
Yeah, the
I don't
level.
know
That's the
how
only thing I
the
care about.
I don't know how they equate it. Doesn't actually say.
It's hard, dude. I've been at 361 for like weeks.
It says 120 points. What's the point? What does it get you?
I don't fucking know. That's the one thing I like so much more about achievements with Xbox, but yeah. I
Right.
buy all my physical stuff on PlayStation, so it's kind of just it happens to be the place where I play more.
Yeah, that's fine. Each their own. Every platform has its ups and its downs, and we just want to know what a point is, man. Come on, Sony.
Tell us. I think there probably is some description, but I have no understanding of it at all. But I'll quit rambling, Loon.
Yep. Right. Catch you in the next one.
See you guys.